Just a quick note before we get started. This video is part of our Mathematics and Statistics module in our FE review course. If you would like access to the complete module right now, as well as other FE review modules, a practice exam, and live Q&As, make sure to go to the link in the description and go to our FE Exam Academy. Once you go to the link and join, you'll have access to our full support in passing your FE exam. If you find this video useful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for future updates. That being said, let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Hello, welcome to the next segment of single variable calculus in the Mathematics and Statistics module. In this segment, we are going to be covering some applications of derivatives. So we're going to be finding critical points, maximum and minimum values of a function, and the points of inflection for a function. So as always, make sure that you try these problems on your own before you follow along with the solution. But when you're ready, let's begin with number 32. So for this first problem, we need to find the location of the critical points of the function that we were given. So if you don't remember what the critical points are from calculus, I can give you a reminder. The critical points of a function are going to be the location where the derivative is equal to 0. So let's go ahead and find the derivative of this function as our first step. So the derivative is going to be 3x squared minus 6x. So because we want to know where that is equal to 0 to find the critical points, we can just equal it to 0 in an equation like this. Now in order to proceed, we can factor out an x, and we're going to end up with x times 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. So that is going to tell us that the location of one of our critical points is going to be at x equals 0. And we can solve for the location of the other critical point by setting the inside of the parentheses equal to 0 as well. So then we'll end up with 3x equal to 6. And when we solve for x, we're going to end up with x equals 2 as the other critical point. So if you take a look at the multiple choice, the answer for this one is going to be D. Moving on to number 33, now we are given a different function and we are asked to solve for the maximum value of that function. So if we go to the FE reference manual on page 45, we can find the test for a maximum value and the test for a minimum value. And that gives us basically the procedure on how to find the maximum value for our problem. So I went ahead and pasted these tests for maximum and minimum right here so we can see them while we solve. We're mostly interested in the test for a maximum in this case for the problem. So let's see what it says. So basically what it's saying is at the location x equals a, we will find the maximum value for this function. And we can find the value x equals a by taking the derivative of the original function and setting it equal to 0. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's start off by taking the derivative of the function. So this is going to be the derivative of our function right here. So let's go ahead and set that equal to 0. Like we did in the previous problem, we can then factor out x, and we're going to end up with x times negative 6x plus 6, all equal to 0. So again, we're going to have two different x values for which the derivative can equal 0. One of them is going to be x equal to 0. The other one is going to be solved by setting the inside of the parentheses equal to 0. So we're going to end up with this equation. If we solve for x, we're going to end up with x equals 1 as the other point where the derivative is equal to 0. So what we did there is find our values x equals a. As you can see, there's two of them because one of them is going to have our maximum value and one of them is going to have our minimum value for the function. So then the way that we find out which one the maximum is and which one the minimum is by looking at these inequalities. So in this case, we want to find the maximum. So according to these maximum and minimum value tests, now we need to take f double prime and we're going to plug in our x equals a values and just see which one is less than 0 and which one is greater than 0. So let's go ahead and start off by taking f double prime. So f double prime, otherwise known as the second derivative, is going to be negative 12x plus 6. So now let's go ahead and plug in our x equals a values. As you can see right here, we need to do f double prime of a. So one of them is going to be f double prime of 0. The other one is going to be f double prime of 1. So if we do f double prime of 0 first, once we plug in 0 into the equation, we're going to get 6 as the result. Now if we move on to f double prime of 1, we're going to end up with this, and that'll give us negative 6. So that means this one corresponds to our maximum value, and this one corresponds to our minimum value. As you can see, maximum is going to be where f double prime of a is less than 0. So here we have that inequality that matches with maximum test. So now that we know that this x equals a is going to give us our maximum, we're just going to plug in the x equals a value into the original equation, and that'll give us our maximum value. So this is our original equation right here. So let's just go ahead and plug in 1. So f of 1 is going to be negative 2 times 1 to the third plus 3 times 1 squared plus 1. That is just going to give us negative 2 plus 3 plus 1, which is going to equal 2. So therefore, the maximum value of this function is going to be 2, and the answer in our multiple choice is going to be A. So just to recap what we did, we used a test for a maximum from the FE reference manual to solve our question. The first step was to take the first derivative of the function. We then found what values of x would give us 0 for that first derivative. And we knew that one of them was going to correspond to our minimum value and one of them would correspond to our maximum value. We then took the second derivative of the function to see which one was minimum and which one was maximum according to these inequalities. Once we found out that x equals 1 was the location of our maximum value, we plugged in x equals 1 back into the original equation, and that gave us a maximum value of 2. Real quick, here's also a visual representation of the function. As you can see, this is going to be our maximum value right here at x equals 1, and it's going to be a maximum value of 2. And then the minimum value is going to be at x equals 0, and it's going to be a minimum value of 1. So now that problem is complete, let's move on to number 34. So here we have number 34. We have another problem where we can practice finding the maximum value. So here we have our maximum and minimum value test from the FE reference manual. So in this case, we're once again interested in the test for a maximum. So let's use that procedure like we did in the last problem. So our first step is going to be to find the derivative of our function. So this is going to be our derivative right here. And once again, like we did in the last problem, we need to find the roots of the derivative, also known as where the derivative is equal to 0. So I went ahead and set our derivative equal to 0 so that we could find the roots. Let me actually show you a really quick way to solve for the roots using our calculator. In this case, this calculator is basically the TI-36X Pro. This one just looks a little different because it's a computer version so that I can have it on my screen while I show you the solution. So if we want to find the roots of a function, we just go to second, then we go to polysolve right here. As you can see, it says in blue on the same button as the cosine function. It's going to take us here. We're going to use this first option because our function is to the second degree. So then our coefficient for this first term is going to be 3. It's going to be negative 2 for our second term. And then lastly, we're going to have negative 5 for the last term. So if we solve, it's going to give us x equals 5/3 and x equals negative 1 as the roots. So I went ahead and wrote those down right here. Make sure that you get familiar with that feature of your calculator because it really helps out with getting through some of the problems a lot faster. So now we have the roots of our derivative, and that's going to tell us what values x equals a will satisfy f prime of a equals 0. So now that we have those two values, let's find out which one's going to give us f double prime of a less than 0 and which one will give us f double prime of a greater than 0, so that we can know which one is our maximum and which one is our minimum. So first of all, let's find the second derivative of our function. In this case, the second derivative is going to be 6x minus 2. So let's go ahead and plug in f double prime of 5/3 and f double prime of negative 1. So this is going to be the results of plugging in our roots into the second derivative. We're going to get positive 8 and negative 8. So this one's going to be greater than 0. This one's going to be less than 0. So if we take a look at the parameters for the maximum and minimum test, it looks like this root is going to correspond to our minimum and this one is going to correspond to our maximum. Because this one corresponds to our maximum, let's plug it in into the original equation and see what our maximum value actually is. So here's the original function right here. So let's go ahead and plug in -1 into the equation. Then we're going to end up with -1 minus 1 plus 5 plus 4, and that's going to give us a maximum value of 7. So if you take a look at the multiple choice, this one is going to be C. So moving on to number 35, we have one more problem where we're going to practice the maximum and minimum test, but in this problem we are going to be solving for the minimum value of the function. So once again, I went ahead and put the maximum and minimum test from the FE reference manual right here so we can see it while we solve our problem. So the first step for this problem, once again, will be to take the first derivative of our function. The first derivative of the function is going to be 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. Once again, we need to find the roots of our derivative, so let's go ahead and set it equal to 0. And then we can use our calculator again to make this process really quick. So once again, we're going to hit second and then polysolve. And then after that, we are going to use this first option for a second degree function. The coefficient of our first term is going to be 3. Our second one is going to be -2. And then our last term is going to be -1. So once we solve that, we're going to get roots at x equals 1 and x equals -1/3. So after obtaining our roots by using the calculator, let's see which one is going to have our maximum value and which one is going to have our minimum value by using the inequalities and seeing which f double prime of a is greater than 0 and which one is less than 0. So f double prime, the second derivative of our function, is going to be 6x minus 2. So now let's go ahead and plug in -1/3 and 1 into f double prime of x. Once we plug those in, we can evaluate and we're going to get -4 for this one and 4 for this one. So this one is going to be less than 0 and this one is going to be greater than 0. And then if we look at the test for a minimum, the one that we're interested in is going to be the f double prime of a that gives us a value greater than 0. So like I mentioned, this is the one that gives us a value greater than 0. It is associated with the root at x equals 1. Therefore, we need to plug in x equals 1 into our original equation, and that'll give us our minimum value. Our original equation was f of x equals x to the third minus x squared minus x plus 2. Once we plug in and evaluate f of 1 in the original equation, we're going to end up with a result equal to 1. That means that the minimum value of this function is going to be 1. So if we take a look at the multiple choice, the answer for this one is going to be B. Moving on to problem 36, now we're going to move past the maximum and minimum value test. This time we need to find the location for the point of inflection of this function. So the test for a point of inflection can also be found on page 45 of the FE reference manual. It's going to be right under the test for maximum and minimum that we've been using. So I went ahead and put the test for point of inflection right here so that we can see it while we solve the problem. So in order to find the point of inflection x equals a, we need to find where f double prime of a equals 0, and then we need to make sure that f double prime of x changes sign as x increases through x equals a. So the first thing that we need to do is find our second derivative and find where our second derivative is equal to 0. Our first derivative is going to be 3x squared minus 12x plus 9. And our second derivative is going to be 6x minus 12. So like it says right here, let's find out where that second derivative is equal to 0. So I went ahead and set our second derivative equal to 0. That's going to give us 6x equals 12. And once we solve it, it's going to give us x is equal to 2. So this is going to be our value x equals a that also satisfies f double prime of a equals to 0. But as you can see, it says one more thing right here. We need to verify that f double prime of x changes sign as x increases through x equals a. So let's go ahead and check that. So we already know that if we plug in 2 into the second derivative, we're going to get 0. So f double prime of 2 is equal to 0. In order to verify this last part of the test for point of inflection, we can plug in 1 and 3 because this one's going to be less than 2 and then this one's going to be greater than 2. And we just want to see if they have different signs. So as you can see, the sign does indeed change as we pass through f double prime of x equals to 0. Therefore, that verifies that x equals 2 is going to be the location for our point of inflection. So the answer for this one is going to be D. So this one is a little bit more straightforward than the test for a maximum or minimum. We once again just find what values meet these parameters right here in the test for point of inflection. So we did that by finding the second derivative, so we could know where f double prime of a equals to 0. And then we just verified that the sign changes as it passes through f double prime of a. So that being said, let's move on to number 37. So moving on to number 37, this is going to be our last problem for this section. And it's going to be one more practice problem on finding the point of inflection for a function. So once again, I went ahead and put the point of inflection test right here from the FE reference manual. So once again, we need to find the second derivative of the function, so that we can then know what value x equals a will give us f double prime of a equals to 0. The first derivative of the function is going to be 3x squared minus 6x plus 1. The second derivative of the function is going to be 6x minus 6. Let's set that second derivative equal to 0, and we're going to end up with 6x equals to 6. Therefore, x equals 1 is the value that gives us a derivative of 0. So now we know that x equals 1 is going to satisfy f double prime of a equals to 0. So now let's just verify that the sign changes through x equals 1, and that'll tell us if it is indeed our point of inflection. So again, we already know that f double prime of 1 is going to give us 0. That's what we just solved right here. So now let's verify that the sign changes as it passes through here. So we'll do f double prime of 0. And then we'll do f double prime of 2 down here. We're going to end up with negative 6 here and positive 6 here. So as you can see, the sign does indeed change as we pass through x equals 1, which is our x equals a. So that means that that is indeed our point of inflection. Therefore, if we take a look at the multiple choice, the answer for this one is going to be C. That last problem brings us to the end of this section, which was on applications of derivatives. We covered how to find the critical points, maximum and minimum values of a function, and also the point of inflection for a function. That last section is going to be on integrals, and we're going to get some very good practice on review on how to do different types of integrals to prepare for the FE exam. So when you're ready, head over to that section and we'll see you there.